Let's start with the Colts coming off that win versus the Chiefs. Are they contenders or pretenders, SA?
Who? The Colts.
Colts!
Pretenders. Why would I think that they're contenders? I mean,
Well,
they've looked awful as far as I'm concerned. And listen, I mean, they're not scrubs, but I'm just not high on them right now. Matt Ryan still has to show me a little bit more. And Jonathan Taylor, everybody knows the key on him now because they're daring others to beat them instead of him. So I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. I'm not sold on the coach yet. I would go pretender instead of contender.
Contender to me because it's a bad division. Good win against Kansas City. Maybe the offensive line gets a little better. Tennessee's 1-2. Jacksonville, who I just extolled, young team, and Houston's bad. So I'll go contender for the Colts, partly because of the AFC South.
All right, let's talk about the AFC West here real quickly, because we thought this division, world beaters, they were like the NFC West of like, absolutely. So the Broncos are 2-1, excuse me, and they have the lead, but they haven't looked great. Are you going contenders or pretenders?
Oh, I'm going to go contender.
Tied for the lead, rather.
Yeah, tied for the lead with Kansas City at 2-1. I'm going to go contender only because I expect Russell Wilson to play a little better as the season moves along. I know he's been awful. He had the one good drive on Sunday night, the 80 yards. They won the game with 4 minutes to go. They got a pretty good defense. Hackett, as long as he stays the heck out of the way, I think Wilson will get a little better. Chargers not as good. Injuries. Raiders 0-3, you've discussed. Kansas City looks a little sloppy too. I say still because of the fact division's down, and I expect him to play better, Stevie. I say contender for the Denver Broncos.
I'm going to say pretender. I'm not sold on this offense. I think it's been anemic, to be kind. They have been completely and utterly unimpressive. I think we've seen some slippage in Russell Wilson. I'm not sold on Hackett as a head coach as of yet. I'm sure he's a nice guy and knows football, but I'm not sold on him as a head coach just yet. And I don't believe there's any way in hell that when the season ends, they're going to be better than the Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're talking about third place as a reasonable, plausible aspiration. I don't see it.
Doggy, how many of these teams, AFC West, are going to the playoffs?
Right now, I'm going to say 2. The Raiders aren't going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Chiefs and Chargers?
2. I'm worried about the health of the quarterback. And, of course, they lost a big lineman.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Broncos and Chargers are going to make the playoffs in the AFC West. Broncos and Chiefs.
Broncos and Chiefs.
I'm sorry, not the Chargers. Worried about the Charger injuries. Stevie?
Denver Broncos, I see 2 teams coming out of the West. Kansas City, Chargers. Those are the 2 teams. Raiders and Broncos will be home watching the postseason with us.
All right. Unfortunately, next week he'll be back. So
that was fun.
We won't get to have the studio to ourselves.
Yeah, he's back here next week?
He's back, yeah. He's feeling very lonely.
They've been telling me they want me to switch it.
They didn't put him in a studio today. He's by himself. I actually called if someone could give him a hug. He was having a hard time.
And they want to switch.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.